It is kind of exciting, yeah. Bluebird Team is what, German? They're a German studio? Wait, my best video performance right now is the Cartoon Network Isn't Dying video? Damn. This almost starts off as if like Akira Yamaoka's dead and they're just paying homage to his musical work. Homage. It's still a beautiful song. Phenomenal composer. Alright, Konami, get on with it. What are you doing? I Love Bees starting a ARG. Oh, they turned off the live chat. Interesting. No updates on what's going on in the server. Huh. Oh, here we go. Gonna mute my mic for now. God damn it. Really padding this out. But I think this pretty much confirms Silent Hill 2 at this point. Which is, I mean, it's fine. Not what I wanted, but that's okay. I gotta go back and play Silent Hill 2 anyway, so I might as well just wait for the remake and then try out the PS3 remake at some point. Because Silent Hill 2, playing Silent Hill 2 is like a challenge. Unless you have it on PS2, which I have it on Xbox, so outputting my Xbox to a capture card is a massive pain in the ass. And getting it to run on Windows properly is another whole hurdle, so I just never got around to doing it. Although the new Xbox emulator runs it apparently pretty well. Oh, here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Forgot I went back in time. PT, nice. No, PT style intro. That's the bathroom, that's Silent Hill 2. Okay.
Could she really be here?
No.
Waiting for me? Mary died of that damn disease 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's called murder. Woo! Okay.
In my restless dreams,
I see that
I
town.
see that town. Silent Hill.
I knew it. Okay, dope.
I know what you are.
Sure is, man.
I know why I needed you. But it's all over now. I don't need you anymore.
This looks spectacular.
I'm ready.
I mean, I would have wanted Silent Hill 1, but that's okay.
Mary?
Ooh. Oh, PS5 exclusive? What? Come on. Shame. Fuck you. Go figure.
Welcome to Silent Hill Transmission, the show that keeps you informed about Silent Hill. My name is Selena and I will be your facilitator. Thank you very much for having me. And
サイレントヒルシリーズのプロデューサーを務める岡本元井です。今日はよろしくお願いします。まずはじめにサイレントヒル2の映像をご覧いただきました。そしてですね、より詳しくお伝えするために一緒にゲームを作っている人をお呼びしています。
I want to click off. I'm actually
では早
upset.
速ご紹介いたします。コンセプトアーティストの伊藤正弘さんです。
Masahiro Ito, though.
伊藤さん、今日はよろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。
改めまして岡本さん、伊藤さん、サイレントヒルが帰ってくるんですね。
はい、そうなんです。ファンの皆さん、本当に大変お待たせしました。サイレントヒルが帰ってきて、その第一弾。
I hope it's a temporary exclusivity.
伊藤さんにお声掛けしてからそろそろ3年ですよね。
いや、本当長かったですよね。でもこうして
Really long time. That's underselling it.
またこう再始動できるっていうそのタイミングを皆さんにお伝えできるっていうことに僕はすごく興奮しております。
伊藤さんの場合、ツイッターにもすごくファンの方がコメントされているので、もう隠してるのが大変だったんじゃないですか。
いや、そうなんですよ。岡本さんに苦情されてましたからそのこと本当にファンからいろいろ質問されて、それをのらりくらりと交わすのが大変でして、
いや、僕らもちょっと脇で見ていてちょっとドキドキしておりました。それでですね、サイレントヒルといえばもう一方。
Yes, but why would you hurt the franchise by forcing it onto the PS5
山
alone?
岡さんとも一緒に作っているんですけれども、ちょっと本日はですね、残念ながらこの場に来られなかったので、ビデオメッセージをお預かりしております。どうぞご覧ください。
山岡です。もう21
Absolute
年です
legend
か。
here.
20年以上経った作品でリメイクという形でまた新しい作品としてですね、蘇るということで、個人的にも僕的にもすごく嬉しく思っています。
Okay, so it's a remake.
当時
Not
は
a
そ
reimagining.
のいろいろこうチャレンジしようというか、ビデオゲームっていう中でも新しいものというか、今までないものをテーマとしても作ろうみたいなところもあって、当時ディレクターがドストエフスキーの「罪と罰」を
It's a
読
good
んで
one.
くださいって言われて 何を作るんだろうなと。で音楽ももちろんですけど模索というかすごいいろいろチャレンジしてた思いではあります。このタイトルであれば新しい音楽っていうものを作り上げられるかなっていうの
for
は
PS5
すごい感
exclusivity.
じてました。まあ未だに20年
It's
経っても
Demon
ですね
Souls, now Silent Hill
っていう
2.
タイトルがみんなの心の中に残ってるっていうのは僕はすごくやってよかったというか本当にこの上ない
I'm not buying a PS5 for 2 games. It's just, that's unrealistic.
でリメイクに関してもまたさらに新しい音楽性であったり新しいチャレンジもそうかもしれないですし従来のファンの方にもきちっと届けられる心に刺さるサウンドデザインだったり音楽だったり、もちろんサイレントヒルを知らないサイレントヒル2を知らないユーザーさんにとってもその時サイレントヒル2が初めて出た時のインパクトというか衝撃というか作れたらいいなと思っています。皆さんもぜひ楽しみにしていてください。
I mean,
山岡さんありがとうございます。
I mean, I am looking forward to it. I mean, and it's just sad that this keeps happening with so many phenomenal studios. I mean, Team Bloober, I really hope pushed back against this decision of exclusivity. I don't know if this was a Konami decision from higher up that just completely shut this down, but like, they would have so much more money if they recognized a lot of their fan base probably moved to PC. PC is still leading the charge in so many countries. All this really means is I have to hope that it comes to Sony streaming at some point and it streams well. I mean, spending the kind of money just to play one game, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to feel this way, it just sucks, and it's annoying that this keeps happening. Hopefully Epic or somebody can reach out and do something about this, or do a partial exclusivity and fight back against this decision. I'm guessing Sony put up a lot of money for this and then made the exclusivity deal or something like that, so I don't know.
ございます。コナミのサウンドね、若いスタッフみんな山岡さんのことを尊敬しているので、みんなワクワクしながら一緒に仕事させていただいております。そしてですね、日本だけでなく制作チームについてのお話もさせてください。今回のサイレントヒル2はポーランドのホラーゲームのスペシャリストブルーマンチームで制作しています。
I'm sorry, I thought they were German.
彼らからコメントと制作風景をいただいてますので、こちらもどうぞご覧ください。
Silent Hill 2 is a cult classic, and it's widely recognized as one of the best games ever made.
For many Bloober team members, Silent Hill is the title which made them fall in love in horror games.
I can respect that.
This is why we approach our work with a great respect to original game.
To ensure that we are keeping this unique Silent Hill atmosphere intact, we are working closely with original creators such as Masahiro Ito and Akira Yamaoka.
What's important to note is Akira Yamaoka, I think at one point also directed a game, if I'm not mistaken. He was given a game to direct in the Silent Hill franchise. Directed... What's Silent Hill? Akira Yamaoka... Looks like he directed Silent Hill 3? I don't want to say that with any form of certainty. He might have only done the music, but I remember that being something.
We want Silent Hill 2 to make the same strong impression today that the original game did 21 years ago.
Fair enough.
While we want to achieve the same end result, players' expectations evolve over time, and certain things need to be modernized to have the same or similar effect. For example, that's why we went with the over-the-shoulder camera, so we can immerse players into the game world as much as possible.
No! Don't take away the tank controls! Ah! Okay. You're removing so much atmospheric perspectives. You're removing so much. Ugh. I respect the decision and I understand it. 100% I do. But that hurts.
We are creating a synergy where new or modernized mechanics and features actually support the original spirit of Silent Hill 2. Combining the old with the new is no easy task, but we believe we are on the right track.
That was a cool cutscene.
To put it simply, our goal is to recreate everything what made the game a timeless classic, but give it a new form which will draw players even deeper into the foggy streets of Silent Hill.
The whole point is to not want to be on the streets. That was the entire purpose of the fog in the later titles. Obviously, the fog was originally there because of limitations, but the fog became iconic because it pushed the player towards the next internal scene. I understand where they're coming from and they want there to be this adventure, but I mean, you can't have it both ways, you know. I mean, I guess you could play this however you want. At the end of the day, opening up the game is never a bad thing, and really expanding upon it is never a bad thing. But as long as they're very aware that the fog was also an emotional and a directive kind of medium, I think Team Bluebird could really create something amazing here. It's important to
そうです。
recognize
この
that.
現場からサイレントヒル2が生まれたんですね。
そうなんですよ。もう彼らは本当にホラーゲームとサイレントヒルが大好きで、コナミってサイレントヒルに関しては世界中のチームから毎年のように提案をいただくんですけれども、
はい、
その中でも彼らは最もですね情熱的ですご
They
く
really do.
愛を感じました。
おー素晴らしい。
伊藤さんも一緒にポーランド行きましたよね。
はい、年の瀬の寒いポーランド行きましたね。
で何度も何度もねお酒を飲み、
はい
語り合い、
はい。で岡本さんがねこう酔っ払って。
そうですね。一緒にもうお酒を飲みながらホラーゲームの未来、そしてサイレントヒルの未来について熱く語り、そしてゲームを一緒に作る。
Yeah, this is the part I'm looking forward
ところ
to.
でですね、先ほどの映像にもロゴが出ておりましたけれども、サイレントヒル2はプレイステーション5で発売予定です。そこでプレイステーション5の発売元のソニーインタラクティブエンターテインメントさんからもコメントをいただいております。ビデオメッセージをどうぞご覧ください。
This part's gonna be hard for me not to pause and rant. I don't want to be ignorant. That's number one thing I don't want to be here. So understand that anything I say is just that of an opinion. It may come to change in the future. I don't like exclusivity. I fight very heavily against exclusivity. I am pro universal gaming. I want income from for these creators from every angle. I want their content to be on as many platforms as it can be. Again, that way the income can't be staggered or can't be funneled in any capacity that restricts future endeavors. We can't say for certain if PlayStation 5 is the best demographic. When you look at things like sociology and demographics, you know, that's a very complicated matter. There's entire teams dedicated to doing those kinds of things. For PlayStation to make this decision is rough. I understand why they want to sell consoles, they want to sell games, but I don't think this is a selling point, especially in the modern era where a lot of people will be streaming this game, sharing this game through Twitch and YouTube, that exclusivity was a good decision. Again, I hope that they retract that decision and maybe do a temporary 6 months or a year exclusivity deal and then make a deal with something like Epic or Steam to move that game over onto those platforms. I don't know if Bluebird Team has ever done exclusivity. It doesn't seem like it. I think every game is all over the place. So this has been rough for me. So I just want to be very clear that the opinionated stuff, I don't want people to get upset over that. It just is what it is. Let's go.
Hello, everyone. My name is Christian Svensson, and I'm the Vice President of Global Third-Party Relations at Sony Interactive Entertainment. I'm extremely excited to hear about the announcement of Silent Hill 2. Congratulations. This is definitely a celebratory moment.
It is.
And we're looking forward to bringing Silent Hill 2 exclusively to PlayStation 5.
That's not so cool.
Being huge fans of the franchise, our team at SIE feels...
See, right there, no, you can't lie to us right after saying something like the word exclusivity. You can't, because what you're saying is we're not fans. We don't respect the game, and we want to make money off of it, which I understand. It happens. But that's hypocritical to be. It is what it is.
Excited to support the revival of Silent Hill. Okamoto-san, we eagerly await hearing more about what's in store for this beloved franchise. Thank you again for your partnership.
応援ありがとうございます。サイレントヒルはプレイステーションとともに成長してきたシリーズです。プレイステーション向けに発売できて非常に嬉しいですね。
皆様のサイレントヒル2に寄せる期待がすごいですね。私自身サイレントヒル2の大ファンなので、もうお話聞いてるだけでますます楽しみになってきました。
ありがとうございます。
Okay, so what's interesting is, if you guys don't know, Sony has a PC streaming service that you can sign up for. You have to pay for it like every other streaming service, but they don't really advertise it too much. They don't talk about it all that much. One of the issues here is they're once again ignoring the possibility of them bringing this game over to their streaming service for people who might not want to purchase a PS5. If they want to, that would probably be a really smart decision, is to have this game streamable on their service. I hope they make that decision moving forward, because locking this to an exclusive is not good for archival. It's not good for the future of the franchise, and it looks greedy from a consumer perspective. So hopefully they make a decision against that in the future. Again, this is an opinion. Please respect it as an opinion. Let's keep going.
ファンの皆様にはですね、本日からプレイステーション5のスターページもオープンしていますので、そちらの方もチェックしてみてください。よろしくお願いします。
そうなんですね。わかりました。ファンとしてすぐにチェックさせていただきます。それではこの回はこのあたりで、岡本さん、伊藤さん、ありがとうございました。
Okay, that's not true. It's not here.
私たちのいる世界も変わってきましたよ。
はい。このイベントはサイレントヒル2だけでは終わらないんです。今後は世界中の才能あふれるクリエイターたちとサイレントヒルの世界をさらに拡大していきます。
まだ続きがあるんですか？
はい。そしてその新しいビジョンの一つをお披露目することができるんです。ビデオの方をご覧ください。
Okay, before we proceed, Silent Hill has one of these major issues that we've talked about in the past, and there is this misunderstanding within the community. People can do this, it's perfectly fine, but they don't respect the intentional vision of the Silent Hill franchise and the actual story that's being displayed. There are ways to interpret the story, and that's always fine. Artistic representations should always be interpreted how you please. But when there are major plot points that are ignored or miscommunicated to the fandom, it results in issues within the fandom. And this has been pretty apparent within the films. I'm not going to sit here and say that this film is going to do that, but this is one of the things that has me nervous about the Silent Hill film that they're probably about to announce. This has been leaked over and over again on Twitter and on YouTube and on Facebook. So let's see what happens. And I don't want to make any judgments or preliminary judgments, of course. I want to talk more about, the corporate side of things and my feelings towards the corporate side of things. I don't believe that these will be bad in any regard. I mean, the film might be mediocre, but the game's probably going to be phenomenal, because if it's Bloober Team, they do a great job.
Why are you here? No, in this place. Why are you here? Here to be punished.
Ooh, Annapurna. Wait.
That's good.
Wait, what? What? Yo, what is happening?
I like it. You know what? I think you're right. I think we've done something so awful. We are stuck here in this place, being judged by these people. But for you, I think it's more than that. I think you're here for some other reason. And I don't want to be anywhere near you.
Is that Kaufman?
When you figure that out.
Whew. Now this is what I'm talking about. This might sell me on buying a PS5.
Hi, my name is John McKellen. I'm the creative director at No Code, and we are working on Silent Hill Townfall. I remember playing the original Silent Hill on PS1 back in 1999 and became a fan from that moment on. So for us to work on this game with our friends at Annapurna feels like an actual dream come true.
I fucking love Annapurna. Annapurna, for those who don't know, let me just real quick give you guys a little bit of history on Annapurna. So Annapurna Games is a, I believe, a subsidiary company. I think they're an independent LLC now. But real quick, they've worked on so many great games. So many great games. They did The Lost Wild, Lorelei, Skin Deep, Cocoon, Neon White. They did Stray, Solar Ash, 12 Minutes, The Artful Escape, Unfinished, Swan, The Pathless. Like, they have so many good games under their belt. Kentucky Route Zero, Telling Lies. These guys are so experienced. Ashen, Florence, Journey, Outer Wilds, Donut County, Gone Home, like Flower, What Remains of Edith Finch. Like, these are all really, really, really good titles. If you follow my YouTube channel, you know that I have played so many Annapurna games on my channel. Journey is, I believe, the first Let's Play I ever did on my channel. I think they were Hello Games at the time or something along those lines. I did Kentucky Route Zero. I played Unfinished Swan. I played What Remains of Edith Finch. I have plans to play 12 Minutes. I know my friend Red in the podcast is a big fan of 12 Minutes. He always tells me to play it. We have plans to play Neon White. I've played Solar Ash. These are all phenomenal games. Stray was super good. Yeah, this is super exciting news. I absolutely love Annapurna Interactive. They're a phenomenal studio.
It's a real honor for us to bring a new title to this series that both respects the source material, but also does something a little bit different with it. To say that Silent Hill has been an inspiration to No Code would be a massive understatement. Our previous two games, Stories Untold and Observation, both
Stories Untold was so good. So good.
played with that same deep psychological horror. And at No Code, we're all about weaving that narrative and that experience into every aspect of our game design, our audio, our visuals, even our UI. So obviously the teaser trailer is just the beginning, and we can't show you any more just yet. We're going to be hard at work for a while, but we can't wait to come back in the new year and show you more. Until then, it might be worth watching that trailer again and see what you might have missed.
Why are you here? No, in this place. Why are you here? Here to be punished. That's good, I like it.
I have some floppy diskettes here. It looks like some kind of scanned image, an older phone, a fax machine. This is a CRT Walkman from, oh, that would have been what, early 90s, late 80s. We got a camera here, some kind of key, another scan here. It looks like maybe a map.
You know what? I think you're right. I think we've done something so awful.
Looks like a CRT kind of image. Or, I'm sorry.
We're stuck here in this place.
Oh, what was that? Okay.
You're to be punished. That's good. I like it. You know,
Okay, clicks on. So the noise isn't coming from that. That's probably your radio. This is probably going to be your radio.
you know what? I think you're right. I think we've done something
L.
so
I don't think that's an L.
awful. We are stuck here in this.
SATV local broadcast service. Looks like an IP, 10.01.1908 possibly. Let's see, 10.01.1908 potentially. I don't want to connect to it. Let's see, 10.01.1908. January 10th, 1908. No, that can't be right. That might be 1988. 10's October 1st, 1988. Okay.
This place being judged by these people.
Okay, so that's a map.
But for you, I think it's more than that. I think you're here for some other reason.
Okay, the lighting changed to a red hue. What do we got here? Band select. That looks cool though. Some kind of monster. That's cool.
I don't want to be anywhere near you. When you figure that out.
A building. Some guy. Okay.
次は何でしょう？
実はサイレントヒルはゲーム以外の展開もあるんです。ここではその情報をお伝えしていきます。
And now we're going to
な
talk
るほど、
about the
また
movie.
新しい楽しみが増えますね。ではここでアシスタントプロデューサー内藤瑠衣さんをお迎えしてその新たな展開について伺っていきましょう。内藤さんお願いいたします。
サイレントヒルの IP 展開、クロスメディア展開を担当しています内藤です。よろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。
Cross media.
内藤さん、今回はどんな情報をお持ちいただいたんでしょうか。
今回はですね、
Film
サイレント
adaptation.
ヒルゲームの復活のきっかけともなった映画化の話。
It's very true. It's very true. What he says is very true. Silent Hill, the video game franchise after 4, kind of was swept underneath the rug. Tom Hewlett picked up the franchise for a short period of time, and a lot of people, including myself, weren't too happy with his adaptations. And there were other people who were pretty upset with other adaptations. I don't want to speak for them, obviously. I want to speak for myself. But, you know, Silent Hill Origins was a mess. Silent Hill Downpour was really one of the only really solid, you know, Silent Hills to come out from that generation. There was this really big revival back in the day that I was pretty hopeful would be pretty good, but ended up kind of falling on its head. We recently played Silent Hill Downpour, and it was okay. But the same thing with like Silent Hill Shattered Memories. You know, it's fine, but a lot of us don't recognize the canonicity after 4. Say what you will, but that's just the way that a lot of people see it. Other people see it otherwise, and these films also fall in line with that, where we just don't really respect the canonicity attempts of these, and we look at them more as one-off titles. So let's see what he has to say. Hopefully this one's a little bit more grounded towards the actual source material of the 90s and the early 2000s.
数年前に映画の元々作ってた映画のプロデューサー
Victor Hadida, producer of Silent Hill films, as well as the Resident Evil films, in co-production with Constantine, amongst many other cinema classics. Victor Hadida also heads Metropolitan Film Export, one of the largest independent international film distributors in the world. Interesting.
の方から最新作作りたいという提案をいただきました。監督は第1作の方を演出されたクリストフ・ガンズ氏が手掛けると。
Okay, so this is one of the people I was talking about, Christopher Gans. I don't really care for his work, but I do respect a lot of the effort that he put into the Silent Hill films. I thought a lot of the scenes looked really good, but didn't really follow the canonicity very well. But for the most part, solid films.
でさらにいいプロット、いい企画をいただいて、これはいい映画になるぞというところで進めてきました。ただですね、映画だけでいいのかというところもあって、これはゲームを復活させたいということもあって、隣にいるプロデューサーの岡本と一緒に
Let's go, 2 new
ゲ
games.
ームと一緒に復活する道のりを歩
And
んで
Annapurna, like, whoa.
なるほど、素晴らしいですね。
ではここでそのプロデューサー監督2名から
Townfall looked so
メッセージい
good.
ただいているのでご覧ください。
This return is my return to a world, a universe that I have touched in 2006, 15 years ago. The film was a great success, and we decided to go back to
Fair
the
enough.
best of his stories. I mean, Silent Hill 2. The film is the story of a young guy coming back to Silent Hill, where he has known a great love. And
Just real quick, I understand that there are a lot of controversy with Christopher Gans. I don't want to touch on that. I don't want to talk for this person. I'm going to let those opinions be what they are. But in some of the regards, I do agree with some of them. I'm not a big fan of Christopher Gans.
what he's going to find
That's
is
okay.
a pure nightmare.
I have the chance of being very close with Christoph, and we together has achieved to convince Konami that there is a new version of Silent Hill that needs to be done, and they are 100% on board.
In the first Silent Hill, we were exploring a world, the world of his...
This is the one that I'm talking about. This film has a lot of controversy associated with it, with some of the directorial and scripting decisions that were made. I don't want to touch on those here. You can find out about those by looking that up. But Christopher Gans did make some decisions that a lot of the community just did not agree with, especially if you're really hardcore into the Silent Hill fandom. But that I'm going to leave that what it is. You can look that up in your own time and come to your own conclusions. But I personally was not a big fan of his decisions. I'll leave it at that.
Small town, completely closed into the mist. It was like being trapped into a Twilight Zone.
It was a
But
beautiful
in the
film.
second game, you know, the creator of the game have changed the rules, you know. We were basically going back to Silent Hill, the same town, but we were looking this strange world entirely through the point of view of the hero we were
James Sunderland is not a hero.
playing.
Mary, could you really be in this town?
He realized that Mary is lost somewhere into this strange place.
At his core,
Mary wasn't lost.
it's also the idea of the myth of Orpheus. And
That's true.
Whatever a man can go deep in hell to bring back the soul or the person he loved the most.
That was not the point of the story at all.
His life.
So it's much more about psychological horror, even if we are going to find again all the same creature and the same strange terror sequence and things like that. But
At least this time when he introduces Pyramid Head, it'll be in the right fucking context.
the first big interrogation and the first big terror is about ourselves. Are we mad? Are we sane? Are we sane to go back to Silent Hill to find this great love?
That was not the point of the film or the game.
This one now has so many years from the first one that there is a clear idea from Christoph to make it modern, but also very true.
I mean, I guess if Christopher Gans wants to do a film narrative that is independent and alternate history of the Silent Hill franchise, that's fine. If he wants to make Alessa this demon child that never was actually realized in the game, he can. That's fine. But, you know, if we're just going to completely discredit Silent Hill 1, that's fine. Which is what it seems like they're deciding to do, is just discredit Silent Hill 1. Of course, his artistic representation should be shown in the film. His artistic representation of Silent Hill and his personal perception of perspective on it should be realized, and that's fine. Like, as a viewer of this film and as a viewer of these video games, and somebody who looks at these artistic expressions from their own lens, it's not fair for me to sit here and say that they cannot have their own artistic perspective and they should only stay true to the original perspective of, say, Silent Hill 1, which is, something that Tom Hewlett did. And when I look at something like Tom Hewlett's experience with the franchise, and I talk about something like Tom Hewlett's expressionism within the franchise when he was one of the people working on it, there are a lot of things that I disagree with and a lot of things that I was very unhappy with. But at the end of the day, the medium is still the medium, and if it's at least a good interpretation from a perspective of alternate universe or something along those lines, similar to that of like the Marvel films, I'm still going to enjoy it for what it is. It's the same thing with the other Silent Hill films. I respect them for what they are, but I don't look at them as necessarily a canonicity perspective. I don't look at them from a continuity perspective. I just look at them as fun films. A lot of the Resident Evil fandom feels the same way. They really don't look at many of them as continuations of the broader story taking place within Resident Evil. And Resident Evil is another one of those franchises where your artistic perspective is very important in how you view the game and what narrative is being told to you. So, it's not as straightforward as saying, Christopher Gans is going to make a bad movie. I don't think that's true. I think Christopher Gans has the ability to make a phenomenal film. He can make a phenomenal Silent Hill film. But when it comes down to, comprehensive understanding of Silent Hill and comprehensive understanding of the story being told through Silent Hill 1 to 3 or 1 to 4, depending on the continuity that you decide to follow, that's where things get a little bit rocky. And looking at things like Tom Hewlett's games and Tom Hewlett's comic books is where that mess really comes from. So, we'll see. Let's see what they have to say. Obviously, a lot of this is my opinion. I'm going to say that I don't like Christopher Gans's work all that much from a perspective of continuity and canonicity.
The video game, and that's also what it is. We are also respecting the will of the author, the producers, and Konami into this adaptation. Christoph, it's really somebody that respects the work.
I do believe that he does respect the work. I'm not going to sit here and say that he doesn't respect the work. I do feel like he does respect the work.
Has been done, but that also has his own vision. It nurtures the creative vision of the authors from the game, but with a different vision from a filmmaker. And both, they have created, I believe, something that has struck the minds of the fans.
I agree with that.
Stop! Leave her alone! The game of Silent Hill franchise were great artistic achievement, and I have a responsibility to transpose that on a big screen,
Christoph is a real gamer. He has been immersed in this world.
That's why the first film was so...
I don't deny that either. I do believe when Christoph says he's a fan of the game, he is genuine with those feelings. But again, I can't help but, continue to say this. His artistic perspective is different than many others, including myself. And I do respect his interpretations of the game. And we also have to take into account translation differences. Japan has different translations than German has different translations than English has different translations. And because of that, the English fandom might have a different perspective on how things are. Team Perfect did a wonderful breakdown of the Silent Hill franchise a long, long time ago. Their documentary is still on YouTube to this day, and I recommend that people watch it. Not because I want your opinion to be swayed to follow that of Team Perfect's, but they do things from a very direct perspective instead of an artistic perspective. And sometimes having a direct perspective is helpful to understanding or grasping some of the psychological means of a game. And we can look onto things like the Silent Hill wiki events that took place where a admin went on a rant where this was a story about circumcision and mutilation of the male body. There were a lot of things like that taking place. I think Justin Wang and Wavy Web Surf covered this. If you're interested in checking that out, it's very interesting. But again, this is, some of it can be perceived as delusions, some of it can be perceived as artistic perspective, because psychological games like this typically rely on a obviously psychological mantra where you are perceiving things from your psychological perspective, and that changes how you perceive the ending of the game or what the game is trying to tell you. And you can walk away with completely different feelings than somebody else. Scorn is another one of these games, a newer game that was recently released where this is occurring. I'm not a big fan of Scorn. I didn't think it was a fully realized game, but other people feel it is a fully realized game. And from an artistic perspective, I can respect that because they were psychologically connected to that game, where I was a little bit more disillusioned with what the narrative was trying to tell me or what the world was trying to tell me, or et cetera, et cetera. Sometimes those kinds of things just happen. The Medium is another great example where, I'm in the middle with the Medium, but Red, one of our podcast hosts, is much more into the Medium, and these kinds of things just happen. That's just how psychological games are perceived, the artistic representation is perceived, and what the narrative is trying to get across to you without explicitly saying, this is what we're telling you. I think it's a beautiful thing. I think it's a wonderful thing that these creators can do this kind of stuff with these kind of artistic pieces. And I think the representation will be forever good, because it's such a broad and open door.
Well received by the fan of Silent Hill because they felt that I was one of them, and it was so important for me to respect the original creation. That was the base, the start of everything. Everything starts from this respect. So I'm going with a maximum of humility, a maximum of respect, but in the same time I have quite a charge, quite a goal, which is how to transpose the language of the game, which is entirely about immersion, into a tale, into a story that we can tell in 90 or 100 minutes.
The monsters are also one of the key elements that the fans are waiting for. And we are updating those in a way that the creation is similar, but they will be striking.
For me, one of my major goals in this film is how to redesign the classic monster of Silent Hill.
This is one of the things that a lot of people had a controversy with, because the bugs were associated with Silent Hill Homecoming and Pyramid Head was associated with Silent Hill 2. Depending on your perspective of the Silent Hill franchise, it can obviously be said that every monster is a representation of the internal turmoil of the main character, and that's always been something that the hardcore Silent Hill fandom has stated. One of the things that the film did was took away that representation, and we saw that again later on with Silent Hill adaptations into other games. At the end of the day, I think it's okay to do those kinds of things, and it can work in a specific setting if you're willing to realize that character, like they did with Travis in Silent Hill Origins with the Butcher. But again, when you just redesign the exact same character and it's represented in a way that doesn't correlate or relate to the character that you are putting on screen, you lose a lot of that impact. So I'm hoping that their artistic representation is more grounded if they're going to realize and reimagine some of these monsters, and they're going to create a narrative of James Sunderland. It's important to take a look at the original artistic designs and say, how can we adapt this to the film without losing the entire impact and the entire purpose of those characters, because they themselves are connected to the psychological attributes of the main character. So we're getting into some really complicated writing situations already, that I would like to believe that Christopher Gans, over the course of 12 years, has come to realize his fandoms have stated how they feel about his films. So we'll see.
I was talking about Red Pyramid, you know, this big guy with the helmet, you know.
Red Pyramid is one of those fandom-based names that has been given. One of the problems with that is a lot of the harder core fans like myself don't refer to Pyramid Head as Pyramid Head. We refer to him as the Executioner because that is his representation, or its representation rather, within Silent Hill 2. So a lot of us, if you ever hear anybody talking about the Executioner, just note that the Executioner, Pyramid Head, and Red Pyramid thing are all pretty much identical, and it's supposed to be a psychological imprint of James Sunderland to Silent Hill.
He's, again, in this one. Some of
Of
the
course.
creatures of the film of back in 2006 were very, very appreciated by the
This is true. I did appreciate some of the monster designs and a lot of the monster designs of the original Silent Hill because they looked really good and their actions fitted to the scenario and the franchise as a whole. But again, I can't stress that, you know, obviously replacing Harry Mason was something that I found to be not a good take of the original work. You know, a film adaptation of Harry Mason's story where Harry Mason doesn't even exist is a complicated matter. And that's why I always say Silent Hill films fall into this weird nebulous area of being a adaptation in a alternate universe.
fun. But in the same time, for me, it was important to come back with surprise.
It's a new universe. It's a new challenge, and those are very...
See, right there, the statement of it's a new universe is very important because that grounds this in its own reality. This is not Silent Hill's original fandom. This is its own new fandom. The Tom Hewlett universe is its own fandom. So, you know, putting that on the table and putting those cards out and being more transparent with how you are representing this is a lot better than, you know, what they did in the past, which opens me up to possibly enjoying this film a lot more, knowing that they're aware of the situation that they're in.
Very important to bring these icons differently to the audience because they want them to have that wow effect.
That's why, you know, I found a very interesting
Turn your flashlight off.
collaboration with the people of Konami. They helped me a lot to achieve this new design of the monster because they are also working on new episode for the franchise of Silent Hill.
New episodes? Interesting.
The younger audience, they want that collective experience. They want to be with their friends. They want to talk about it, but they want also to live that experience together.
Man, looks like he's stoned.
But, watching an horror film alone at his home is quite different of being into a big
That looks
theater
good.
with a crowd and everybody jumping at the same time. It's very different.
We are modernizing. We are giving him what the audience of today is really wanting. We are trying to do as much as possible, creating a new experience for that audience. Could be more immersive, interactive, and we have now new technologies, but we still have what makes the best is the story. And this story...
Well, that was one of the things with the original films that I was really excited about was the I guess, quote unquote, CGI was really good. So if they're using new technologies, hopefully it's fully realized and their team can really be opportunistic with it.
Story is at the core of it. So we hope that Return to Silent Hill will be a great return.
And if we want to keep the link with the audience, you know, we have to...
Hated this scene.
To be perfectly aware that everything has changed in 15 years. Everything has been washed away, you know. We have to bring back something, you know, very surprising.
That last comment is kind of worrying. I mean, if they're trying to do both, right? Return to Silent Hill is this franchise reboot, fair enough. But it sounds like they're making Silent Hill 2 the movie. Again, it sounds like Konami is washing their hands with Silent Hill 1 and the original narrative, which in my opinion is okay. Again, it's fine. If that's what they want to do, whatever. But as a Silent Hill fan, Silent Hill 1 will always be my personal favorite. That's the one I grew up with. That's the one I was addicted to. That's the one I've played on my channel now 3 times. I just recently played it. It's the one that I speed ran. It's just always going to be that special game. So, you know, this logo looks fine. Everything looks fine. Christopher Gans has somebody else on board, so hopefully he doesn't go and do the things that he did before. Again, do your own research and, you know, decide how you feel on that. So we'll see.
プロデューサー監督ありがとうございました。
ゲームを映画に負けないように頑張っていこうと思ってます。映画とゲーム両方を最高のクオリティにしてファン
That doesn't bode well for what you're saying, because that means you would just like bring Tom Hewlett back. In my opinion, he wasn't very good.
にお届けしたいと思ってます。
もうファンとしては両方とも本当に楽しみです。内藤さん、映画もゲームもまだまだこれからだと思うんですけれども、今後の予定などってお聞きすることってできますでしょうか。
さっきの映像の中にもあったと思うんですけど、すでに絵コンテとかイメージボードとかあるんですけど、実は撮影とかキャスティングはまだこれからなんですね。今後いろいろ映画の方も山場がいっぱいあると思うんで、こちらの方もゲームと一緒にいい作品になるように進めていきたいと思ってます。
ありがとうございます。映画も楽しみです。この配信をご覧の皆さんもぜひ楽しみにお待ちくださいね。それではこの回もそろそろ。内藤さん、岡本さん、ありがとうございました。
There's 14 minutes left.
From here, I would like to share with you some of Silent Hill related items that will help you enjoy the game even more. Here is the first one we would like to introduce. From Gecko, you all very know, 1/6.
Geckos? Gecco? Didn't they work on Silent Hill? Geckos. Zelda. Ooh. Legend of Zelda. Ocarina of Time. It might be Greco. Let's see. Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time wiki. Grezzo. Okay, I wasn't even close.
Scale statue of Red Pyramid Thing is coming.
Why do they keep saying Red Pyramid Thing? I mean, maybe Red Pyramid Thing is the name elsewhere, and they're Oh, I guess Gecko is a model maker. Oh. It's weird that they call it Red Pyramid Thing. Unless they're re-imaging him. Because I always called him Executioner. That's definitely an Executioner. He doesn't have the sword. He has the spear.
Supervised by the art
I don't know.
director and the monster designer of Silent Hill 2, Masahiro Ito. All details are brushed up. You can even see the details we couldn't express because of the video game spec at the time. The base capturing the scaffold can be connected, and you can recreate the scene of the final fight against 2 Red Pyramid Things.
Wasn't there like 6? Was there 2 of them, or were there more? I'm not finding any screenshots of it, sadly. I'm gonna take their word for it and say it was 2, but I'm almost certain it was more than 2 of them in the end.
Up next, James Sunderland 1/6 scale statue.
Not a
The
hero.
realistic sculpture perfectly captures James's exhaustive facial expression. Not only the handgun, but also the wooden plank, the steel pipe, and the great knife pairing up with Red Pyramid thing can be held in his right hand. At his feet, health drinks are tossed away. Maria from Silent Hill 2 is also coming as a 1/6 scale statue. It is the very first official statue of Maria
That's
with
cool.
the high quality and beautiful details. The right hand is interchangeable with a hand holding the gun, which appears in the sub-scenario Born from a Wish.
Sub-scenario, Born from a Wish. That's some cheeky smile right there. Who did this? Is this Twin Perfect? Silent Hillside.
Silent Hill Zone. Wow. We head back through the house.
There's a playthrough of it. Okay. I need to play
Last but
that.
not least, the secret ending of Silent Hill 2, Inu End, is also recreated
That's so
as
cute.
a
I want
1/6
that.
scale coin bank statue. The diorama statue will remind you of the last scene where James collapsed to his knees and say, "So it was all your work." From here, we will introduce some products from the official Konami shop.
Those are sick.
First, Silent Hill board collection. We made a collection that encapsulates all that horror and eeriness.
For those of you who do not know, one of the reasons why Konami would want to have these Silent Hill skateboards is because during the Olympics, during the skateboarding Olympics, Japanese took gold, as well as in the Olympics. Skateboarding was actually held in Japan, obviously. And yeah, they also took the gold. So right now in Japan, there's a lot of skateboarding related merchandise taking place. So that's pretty cool to see that Konami's on board with that. On board with that. I might actually pick up the Silent Hill 3 and the Silent Hill 2 one. I think they look great, and the Incubus from Silent Hill 1 looks great. So yeah, that's pretty cool. It's about, what, $260 right there, probably? Well, probably 230.
Featuring legendary characters from the first 4 installments of the franchise. These hand-numbered limited decks are now available for pre-order.
I don't have the money
In the
right now.
official Konami
Looks
shop,
like I'm not getting
all
it.
these products are now available. Please check it out.
That's cool.
Here is further information about Silent Hill goods. From Crazy Rock, 1/6 scale fully articulated collectible figures of Red Pyramid Thing and Bubblehead Nurse are coming. They are high quality and fully articulated.
Yeah, that's a very interesting Bubblehead Nurse right there.
From Good Smile Company, Pop-Up Parade Bubblehead Nurse is coming with affordable prices. Pop-Up Parade is a series of figures that are easy to collect. Each figure typically stands around 17 to 18 centimeters
I always preferred the bandaged face of the Bubblehead Nurse, but these look fine.
in height. From Bedrock Collectibles, Red Pyramid Thing and Maria Elevator Chase diorama is coming. This statue diorama captures a moment in time as Red Pyramid Thing readies to swing his great blade while Maria attempts to run away and reach the elevator in time with her outreached hand. This diorama will be coming soon to
That was
the
a cool
Bedrock
scene.
Collectibles website. Konami is proud to present all these items on Silent Hill e-commerce page. Don't miss it and secure your order. Now the scene has changed and we have our next guest. Our next guest is Jacob Navok. Jacob, please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Jacob Navok, and I'm the CEO of Genbit.
Jacob, what will you be presenting this time?
I'm going to show you a new kind of Silent Hill, an experience that you haven't seen up until now.
A whole
Ooh, the PSP Silent Hill experience was poop.
new experience. What is it all about? Please take a look at this video for him.
Silent Hill VR? I don't think so. TV show? Okay. Oh, okay, so it's the Silent Hill Ascension. I believe this is the television program? Wait. Is Silent Hill Ascension a third game announcement? Wait, Bad Robot Game. Hang on. Are those the guys that Bad Robot Games is an American film and television production company? Bad Robot Games. Let's see. Are the Weird West, Moonbreaker, games list? Sorry, let me bring this over here. Warner Brothers Television. They have a Santa Monica studio. They worked on Cloverfield. Films. TV series. I'm gonna go ahead and assume this is gonna be a television series. Genvid is clearly a televisions company. Yep. Interesting. What's DJ2? DJ2 Entertainment. They did the Sonic the Hedgehog, but they also worked on It Takes Two and Life is Strange. Sleeping Dogs and Ruiner and Little Nightmares. Interesting. Is this a crossover? Watch it and find out. I know. Live. Face your trauma together. Okay. ASCENSION.com. Let's see what they got. Nope, I said Sascension, which is Soul Ascension. That's like a cult or a musician? I think it's a musician. All right, here we go. This is what we just watched. Yeah. Okay. Well. So what is it, like a online collaborative experience? $2023 is what it said on the top right of the left of the website.
Well, this is going to be another world of Silent Hill. Jacob, could you please introduce your project?
For over 20 years, Silent Hill has haunted my memories. And lately, I enjoy watching streamers playing Silent Hill with their fans. We love the feeling of being scared together, of experiencing fear with friends. It's why watching horror films in the theater...
Oh, we did a coverage of this on my channel a while back. It wasn't them, but it was like this story being told, and then you can take the prompts from the chat and it would modify the game. I did this a couple times now. Back when Mixer was around, it was a thing. I did it over on Mixer as well. It was kind of iffy. It was okay, fun, but
Theater is so fun. Silent Hill Ascension takes that feeling of communal fear to a massive scale. It's a live, real-time interactive series where millions of fans will watch together as the chilling story unfolds. You can change its outcomes and even be a part of scenes. There is no reset button. Decisions that you make mean life or death in the story. It's your chance to shape Silent Hill canon forever.
ooh, that's a big claim. That means we're even gonna recognize you as in the continuity or the canonicity, which is a huge ask from this community. Ooh, maybe but I doubt it, especially if this is like an online experience that only exists one time. I don't know how many people are really gonna take that too seriously or allow their continuity or canonicity ideology or headcanon to influence it. I mean, that's a real tough ask. I believe in your project, but if this isn't something that I can hop on Steam, download and play along with friends and get different outcomes like Manamadan or something like that, that's a big ask. If you're doing like a Telltale series that has the involvement of your streamers, I mean, that's already a limited grasp. I mean, I'm doing this stream right now with nobody watching. But so like this is representative of, you know, the chat being involved, and you're talking about streamers playing Silent Hill, but can we play this on stream? Is this something we can revisit?
Silent Hill Ascension is brought to you by Genvid, Bad Robot, Behavior, and DJ2, and goes live in 2023. Sign up at ascension.com for updates.
I'm so excited about this new world of
I am
Silent
too.
Hill.
That sounds super
Here are
cool,
some
but
messages we received from 2 important partners in the project. Before we look at the messages, could you please introduce them?
Today we're going to hear from Bad Robot as well as Behavior.
I see. Okay,
he's doing a
first
really
things
good
first.
job.
I would like to read a message from director J.J. Abrams.
What? J.J. Abrams is working on Silent Hill? What? What? That's insane.
Genvid's experience presents a wild, epic, and innovative new way to immerse yourself in the horrors of Silent Hill.
Next, please watch the message from the art director of Bad Robot.
No, what? That is such, you can't just drop that. That's so huge.
And the creative team of Behavior Interactive.
I'm Chris Amaral from Bad Robot Games and art director for Silent Hill Ascension.
You did a good job.
Our
It
approach to
looks
Silent
good.
Hill Ascension is to ensure we maintain the tone and the feeling that the fans have come to love from the franchise, while also adding our own twist of an oppressed, tormented, and morose dimension of reality. Silent Hill creatures are often manifested projections from the darkest depths of the main characters' minds.
Thank you.
In Silent Hill Ascension, we build off of this. Our creatures are inspired by the personal traumas and internal demons of our characters' past lives.
Okay, so you're telling me that there's its own independent character.
We want the art style to be a fresh take on the brand.
A long time ago, there was a, oh god, this has got to be on the old web. There was, I think Wavy Webster's talked about this. It's like lost media now, but there was like a whole series where the comment structure on the website changed how the story was portrayed, and it was like a huge flop or something. Super interesting. Or I think maybe the director just took the money and ran when he saw that it wasn't doing so hot.
And while still being equally respectful to where we've been before.
In 2021, we released the execution.
Yo! Mathia Coat, okay. Okay, so I know I was talking about, I didn't want to say Dead by Daylight. Obviously, this is him. I've had a lot of respect for Mathieu, because in his coverage, he actually used the correct terminology, and that's so rare in the Silent Hill community, in the fandom. So when he said the Executioner and the Survivor, I was like, whoa.
And the survivor Cheryl Mason in Dead by Daylight. Today, behavior.
That's right. A lot of people think it's Heather. I think it is Heather in some regards, but Cheryl Mason was the intended.
Once again, we'll dive into the world of Silent Hill, but with a completely new experience.
I think Cheryl Mason is a spin character from a Tom Hewlett universe.
Here's Chris, VP Creative of our service division, to tell you all about it.
Everyone at Behavior is excited to announce our collaboration with Genvid on Silent Hill Ascension in a new form of entertainment that blends community, live
A little
storytelling,
blown out there, bud.
and interactivity.
Could have focused a little better.
Silent Hill Ascension takes you and the entire community on
Like
a
I'm
unique
one to talk.
interactive storytelling experience where the decisions you make affect the characters and the world. Those decisions become canon, and there's no reset button.
Okay, you keep saying this, but you need to clarify, is this an independent game structure or a one-off event? I mean, as long as it's archived, who cares?
This is a whole new chapter for Silent Hill, with new characters and frightful
Technically,
monsters,
no.
where the stakes couldn't be more real. We're thrilled to be working with the talented teams at Genvid, Bad Robot, and DJ2 to bring Silent Hill Ascension to life. Look for it to go live in 2023 and sign up at ascension.com for updates.
But once again, what is it? Is it a game? Is it a television show? Is it something that you're pre-creating? What is it? Because we've seen this kind of concept before. I mean, are you doing something like In Space with Markiplier, where I have the ability to pick and choose through chat logs with my friends and I can do a group watching? Or is this a one-off massive stream that occurs on a specific time where internationally it just won't work right? Is it going to be independently server content created? Am I going to be able to download this and stream it with my friends only? Well, those are the kind of contextualizations that we need in this situation. Them not giving that contextualization is a little iffy on the future of this project. I hope it goes well. I hope it's good. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to sign up for the newsletter personally, but without that context, this might be a flop. I'm sure a lot of people are feeling the same way. So hopefully they realize that this needs to be further expanded upon to their community, to the people who are excited for it. And let us know if this is going to be a permanent project that we'll be able to re-access over time and make sure it's not stream locked, archived, and being able to be downloaded. I mean, Quantum Break is another one of these games where you have these live action cutscenes in between the video game. So them saying that this is a new project and pretending as if nobody's ever thought of this idea is kind of disrespectful, but that's just my opinion. Other people has attempted these projects, obviously. So hopefully, you know, this works in a situation where it's somebody records the entirety of it and then compiles it, or they compile it, or it's an executable later down the road that we can download and have its Twitch interaction, Steam interaction, YouTube interaction, whatever streaming service you decide to connect it to interaction. So, you know, the context matters here, guys.
I can see the new charm of Silent Hill. The fun only gets better. Jacob, what do you think of the 2 message videos?
I'm thrilled to work with these incredible teams. Together, we're going to revolutionize what horror means in interactive media.
That's fantastic. We are excited too. I hope everyone watching this distribution is eagerly awaiting this new Silent Hill. I am sure you will not be disappointed. Thank you, Jacob, for sharing your fascinating title with us today. Thank you for your time, Jacob.
It is fascinating. I don't know what's going to happen, so.
また場所が変わりましたね。岡本さん、これはどういうことでしょうか。
はい。実は最後にもう一本サイレントヒルの完全新作の発表があります。我々が自信を持って送り出す新しいサイレントヒルです。
Thank you very much.
What? Another Silent Hill game?
これはどういうことでしょうか。
はい。
No shot. No fucking
完
shot.
全新作の発表があります。我々が自信を持って送り出す新しいサイレントヒルです。
Thank you very much. Finally, we will leave you with that completely new video. Thank you for watching Silent Hill Transmission.
Nervous. Okay, that's okay. What? What the fuck? I'm sure you guys didn't see that. Hang on. Blood. Or, well, reflection. Yeah, there's like straight up organs and shit in there. You see that? Interesting. Oh, pipe. Okay. Like a classic interpretation. Okay. I mean, I guess in a sense you could say that this is Alessa, and this is the part where, you know, after she's impregnated with the god, quote unquote, incubus, technically, um, this is the mindscape of the hell that she went through. This is the pain and suffering within that hellscape that the demon within Alessa was creating, which is an interesting concept. I mean, obviously this is speculation on what they're trying to give us. Oof. That was fucked up. Okay. Okay. Well, that's about it from me, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to chop this up and put it together. Go support Silent Hill. This was certainly an interesting event. A lot of announcements here for the Silent Hill franchise. One of my favorites, personally. Some of it seems like some alternate universe stuff, which I'm okay with. It seems like Konami finally realized that the story, the building blocks of Silent Hill can be expanded upon in its own way. I said how I feel. I think the canonicity and the continuity is something that is being played with. I think the original image of Silent Hill might be kind of distorted, and that's okay. Artistic impressions and artistic expressions and how people feel and perceive things is important. And Silent Hill is a great building block for story architecture. That's why, you know, the fan games and everything like that are what they are. So, we'll see what happens. Silent Hill is just one of those games, and it's one of those franchises where you really never know. Hopefully I wasn't too disrespectful in this video. I tried to be as respectful as I could to the creators of this. Obviously, I'm just a YouTuber. I probably couldn't make a better game or a better movie. I don't feel like I'm better than these people in any regard. Their accomplishments are their accomplishments, and in my opinion is my own. It just is the way it is. If you feel differently, that's fine. I don't want you to be, you know, constrained to a different opinion or anything like that. So, yeah, we talked about a lot here. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. Oh, and subscribe.